Have you ever ordered an Uber late at night? You're tired, maybe a little careless. You just want to get home. You assume it's safe, right? GPS, driver profiles, ratings. What could go wrong? But let me ask you something. Have you ever checked the plates carefully? Have you ever really looked at the driver's face before getting in? What would you do if something didn't feel right? Drop your answer in the comments, because tonight's story, it's going to make you think twice about your next ride. And hey, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our chilling uploads. Also, tell us in the comments what city or country you're watching from. We love seeing our community from all around the world. Now, let me take you back to the night everything went wrong. It was a Friday night in late October. That strange in-between time where the air has a bite to it, just enough to remind you that winter's on the way. I'd stayed late at a friend's apartment. Nothing wild, just pizza, a couple of drinks, and streaming some dumb show while talking about work. The kind of night where you lose track of time without realizing it. When I finally stepped outside, it was almost 1 a.m. The streets were quiet. Not empty, but quiet in that big city way. You'd see a group of people laughing too loud outside a bar, a lone smoker hunched against a wall, the distant hum of cars on a freeway. But mostly, it was that still, eerie kind of calm where everything feels thinner. I could have taken the subway, but waiting underground at 1 a.m., not exactly appealing. So I pulled out my phone and ordered an Uber. Silver Toyota Camry, driver's name, Daniel. Profile picture, blurry but normal enough. Dark hair, light stubble. Rating, 4.9. ETA, 3 minutes. Perfect. I stood on the corner, scrolling my phone, keeping half an eye out, and right on time, a silver Camry rolled up, headlights cutting through the drizzle. The plate looked right, at least I thought it did. Maybe one number was off, but I shrugged it off. I was tired. The driver rolled down his window, leaned toward me. For Alex? That was my name. I nodded, opened the back door, got in. At first, everything seemed fine. The car smelled faintly of cleaning supplies, too sharp, almost chemical. Beneath it was something older, harder to place. The dashboard glowed a faint green. A little pine tree air freshener swayed from the mirror. Late night, huh? The driver said. His voice was lower than I expected. Calm. Too calm. Yeah, I muttered, buckling in. We pulled away from the curb, merging into the near-empty streets. Rain tapped against the windows, soft and irregular. I checked my phone. Ride time, about 20 minutes. Easy. But then, something caught my attention. On the Uber app, the driver's name was Daniel. But when we passed under a street lamp, the dash lit up, and I saw something clipped to the visor. An ID badge. Not Uber, not Daniel, a different name. I told myself it was nothing. An old job badge, maybe. People leave stuff in their cars all the time. But still, my gut tightened. And here's my question to you. If you saw that, would you brush it off, or would you start to worry? Comment below, because I really want to know what you'd do. We drove in silence for a few minutes. Just the hum of tires, the squeak of wipers. Then he spoke again. You always take this route home? The question was odd, too specific. Sometimes, I said carefully. You live alone? My stomach dropped. I forced a laugh, lied. No, roommates. He nodded, slowly. That's good. Safer that way. The way he said it made my skin crawl. I shifted in my seat, tilted my phone so he couldn't see, opened the Uber app, tried to share my trip status, but the screen froze. Spinning wheel. Error. Location not available. That had never happened before. 10 minutes in, I realized we weren't heading the right way. At first it was subtle, a turn I didn't recognize, a darker stretch of road. I zoomed out on the map. We were still pointing toward my neighborhood, kind of, but way off the usual path. "Hey," I said lightly. "GPS messing up?" He glanced at me in the rearview mirror. Eyes dark, unreadable, just avoiding traffic. I looked outside. Empty road, not a single car. My pulse quickened. Then I heard it. Click, all the doors locked. I didn't see him touch anything, maybe a button on the wheel, but the sound made my chest tighten. I swallowed. "You can, drop me at the next gas station. I'll meet a friend there." Silence. His grip on the wheel tightened. Knuckles white in the dashboard glow. I glanced at the seat pocket in front of me, and that's when I saw it. A wallet, half open. Inside, an ID. Not his photo, not his name. Someone else's license, and under it, another one, and another. 3 different IDs, all tucked neatly together. And I'll ask you again, what would you do right now? Would you call 911, try to jump out, or just sit frozen, praying he doesn't notice you saw? My chest was tight. My thoughts raced. This wasn't Daniel. This wasn't an Uber driver. We turned onto a darker road. Warehouses, chain-link fences, no pedestrians, no open stores, just shadows stretching under weak yellow streetlights. I pressed the door handle, locked, yanked harder. Still locked. Child lock. He looked at me in the mirror and smiled. "You're quieter than most," he said softly. That sentence still makes my blood run cold. I had to think fast. I faked a text. "Hey, my friend's waiting at that gas station up ahead. Could you drop me there?" For a moment, silence. Then he nodded. "Sure." When the neon glow of a 24-hour station appeared, I almost cried with relief. He slowed, pulled in. The car stopped. I yanked the handle. Nothing. Still locked. Could you unlock it?" I asked, trying to sound calm. He held my eyes in the mirror for one long, endless beat. Then click. The lock popped. I shoved the door open and bolted. Rain soaked my clothes as I sprinted into the gas station. By the time I turned back, the silver Camry was gone. Inside, I must have looked insane, soaked, shaking, stammering. The clerk asked if I was okay. I told them pieces of the story. They let me stay until a friend picked me up. Next morning, I checked Uber. The ride had been canceled before I was ever picked up. The real Daniel never arrived. Whoever that man was, he was waiting, watching, hunting for someone careless enough to get in his car. I reported it. Police took notes, but with no plates, no cameras, no solid evidence, there wasn't much they could do. 2 nights later, I was home, alone. I double-locked the door, closed the blinds, tried to move on, but sometime after midnight, I heard it, a car engine, slowly rolling past my apartment, then stopping. Headlights leaked through the blinds, idling. I froze. My heart hammered. Minutes passed. Then the engine revved. The car pulled away. Relief washed over me until I noticed something. Slipped under my door, a thin, damp envelope. Inside, a photograph of me getting into that silver Camry. And scrawled across the bottom in shaky black ink were 5 words. Next time, no gas station. That's why I don't take Ubers alone at night anymore. I double-check every plate, every face, every detail. But tell me, what about you? Would you ever feel safe getting into an Uber again after hearing this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them all. And remember, if you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Most importantly, comment the next terrifying title you'd like us to cover. Who knows, your idea might be our next story. Until then, stay safe and stay watching the shadows.